Welcome to standards for workout number 1 of the Reiver Games Mixed Pairs this coming Saturday. So workout 1, as we know, is you go, I go, 10 rounds, 5 rounds each of a 10 calorie row for the guys, 8 calorie row for the girls, 8 wall balls, and then max burpee box overs. That's box jump overs for the RX, box step overs or jump overs for the scaled. So the way that this is going to work, I'll go over the standards of the movements at the end of the video, but I'll talk you through the flow of the workout first. So it will be set up like this. Start of 3, 2, 1, go. The athlete will be sitting on the rower. They must then row their equivalent calories, whether it's 10 for the guys or 8 for the girls. You have to stay on the rower until the calories spool up over what you're supposed to do. So for the guys, you have to wait until it hits 10 or over 10, then you can get off the rower. Girls, 8 or over 8. Then you'll come off the rower, you'll move into the wall balls, you'll do your 8 wall balls, and then the rest of the time you've got in that 1 minute 30 period, you have to do max burpee box overs. Like I say, we'll go into the standards in a little second, but that's how it's going to work. Partner 1 does theirs. The person that is waiting while the other person is doing burpee box overs, they can be on the rower just before the round starts. So you can set up on the rower, you can be wherever you want. You probably just want to station yourself up the back so that you can get your breath back and whatever else, but you can be sitting on the rower as long as the rower is zeroed at the start of the round. There will be somebody that's making sure the rowers are zeroed in between each interval so that we don't get mixed up that way. The standards for a wall ball, everybody knows what a wall ball is. We want to hit depth and we want to hit the target. So guys will go to the M targets, girls will go to the F targets. Male weight for the RX is a 9 kilogram ball, girls weight is 6 kilograms, male scaled 6 kilograms, female scaled 4 kilograms. You can squat clean the first wall ball if you want, if you choose to do that, as long as we come to the bottom position. I'm no bothered, my rules. So coming to the bottom of the position, so we're going to come to here, squat down until the hip gets below parallel. So below parallel is a rep. So this is not a rep, this is a rep. The judges will be incredibly strict on this standard because it's a super fast-paced workout. You don't want to be doing 10, 12, 13, 14 wall balls in this workout. So just make sure you hit depth. So we come down to depth, we come up and hit the target clearly. So males hit the M target, females hit the F target. In the event that you don't hit the target or you don't hit depth, a no rep will be awarded and you'll have to do that rep again. Everybody knows what a wall ball is. Do them properly. If you're not used to them, get a little bit of practice in the next couple of days to make sure that you can hit depth and that you can hit the target in each case. Standard for the burpee box over, males will have a 24-inch box, females will have a 20-inch box. That is in both RX and scaled. So the standard is chest and thighs must touch the floor. These are facing, so they're not side on. So you must be facing the box at each rep. If you're side on, anything like that, it'll be a no rep. So we need you directly facing the box. Chest and thighs clearly touch the floor. So we come all the way down, chest and thighs touch the floor, not off the floor. You can jump down, step down, whatever you want. Then again, you can jump up, step up. For RX, we're going to jump over the box. I must see, or the judges must see 2 foot contact on the box. You don't have to come to full extension, but we must see 2 feet touch the top of the box. So on the top and over. Okay, then the same again, you would do another burpee on this side and jump over. For scaled, you can do your burpee and step over the box as long as 2 feet at some point touch the top of the box. What wouldn't be a rep is if you were to jump over and 1 foot missed the box. From here, no rep. Okay, so you don't have to come to full extension. Chest and thighs touch the floor, up, over the box. So for scaled, like I say, you can step, and for RX, you must jump. There isn't much to this workout. It is go fast, get as many reps as you can, and your score is just the burpee box overs. So if in whatever case you don't get through the rowing, you don't get through the wall balls, your score in that particular round would be 0. Any questions, please let me know. 5 rounds each. Do what you can. Hit the standard on the wall balls, hit the standard on the burpee box jump overs, hold your breath and hope for the best. Okay, so workout 2 standards video. The workout is in 2 parts, part A and part B. Part A is a play on DT, a lot lighter, obviously. So we've got 12 deadlifts, 9 hang cleans, 6 shoulder overhead, and this is synchro with your partner. This is going to be the one where people are going to pick up the most no reps for not being synchro with your partner. So I can give you any advice, because anybody who shouts at judges or that will just be, their score will be DQ'd. So just make sure that you go a little bit slower than you think you need to go. So for the RX, you know the weights that are on there. We've got 45 and 30 for the RX, and then we've got empty barbells for the scaled. I'll show you what that looks like because we won't have plates on, so I'll show you where you need to go-to for that. But for the deadlifts, the synchro section is at the top of the rep. For the hang cleans, the synchro section again is at the front rack position, and the synchro section for the shoulder overhead is right up at the top. Okay, so there are a lot of sections in this where if you go down before your partner or anything like that, that'll be a no rep and you'll have to do that rep again. So the deadlifts start from the floor, you come up to full extension, so shoulders should be behind the frontal plane, so you should be standing straight up. So this isn't a deadlift, here isn't a deadlift, up to full extension, knees extended, hips extended, shoulders up behind the frontal plane in this position. So this is where you wait for your partner, you should be there at the same time. That's how that works. You can break whenever you want, as long as your partner breaks. It'll only count when you're doing them synchro, though. So the hang power cleans is 2 positions. We're starting from a fully straight arm and up to the front rack position. The front rack position should be knees and hips fully extended and barbell in the front rack position. When we go back down again, the hang part is you have to go down to straight arms, so you can't just keep it bent and bump up from here and bump up. We want to go to a straight arm as a minimum and then pull the bar up into the front rack position. Like I say, if your partner's slower than you, they can wait on you in the front rack position, but be as synchro as is possible for you and your teammate. So in those, we want to be going from here up to the front rack position, back down to full extended arms, so no bent arms, fully extended arms, and then come back up to here. Then for the shoulder overhead, you can either push jerk it, you can split jerk it if you really need to with this weight, you can strict press, whatever you want, as long as it comes to overhead. Now you and your partner both have to be up overhead, fully extended, up above the head. So not out here, or bent arms. We need full extension at the top. Now this is the part where people are going to get the most no reps, because you're going to have a lot of people trying to go too fast and being out here rather than up here. And you're going to have a lot of people that are just trying to push out with bent arms still. So we need it up overhead. And that includes hips and knees being fully extended at the top. So we can't be in this position and bring it down again. You need to be hips and knees fully extended, elbows extended over the top of the head in this position. This is the one where we'll be the strictest on reps. So just be careful with what you're doing. Make sure you do the reps right. If you're getting them wrong, just slow down a bit and make sure you get the reps right. The last thing in this, again, this has got a 9-minute cap on it. The last thing you want to be doing is throwing reps away. So once you've completed your 5 rounds of synchro DT together, you then have 5 minutes at the 9-minute mark to find a 1 rep max for the complex of 1 clean, 1 front squat, 1 hang clean. If you finish before the 9 minutes, you're more than welcome to load your barbell up, so there's an incentive for you to go faster in the first part, but you can only start your lift on the 9-minute mark. So you can do whatever you want in the meantime, which does give the people who go faster an advantage, and that's cool. If you want more time to set up your barbells, go faster in DT. That is the idea. If for whatever reason you haven't finished the DT within the 9 minutes, you just stop where you're at, your reps are your score, and you move on to setting up your barbell. Only 1 person can lift at a time, and the reps have to be complete by the time the buzzer goes. So we're not going to let it bleed over, so you have to have finished your last clean, stood it all the way up before the buzzer goes for it to count. So if it's 58 seconds, 4 minutes and 58 seconds, and you're still in your front squat, unfortunately that rep won't count. So you need to have it inside the time frame, so it's not long at all. So for the clean, you can squat clean, muscle clean, power clean, whatever you want, as long as it comes from the floor to the front rack, to here, and then we're up at this position again, just like in the DT, full extension of the hips, full extension of the knees, barbell up in the front rack position. And then for that front squat, we need to see hip crease below the knee. So from here, we want to get down to below parallel and then back up again. So we need to see that hip crease below the knee. You don't want to get no rep on that. If you stand it up and it's been a no rep, you haven't got low enough, you can go again and try and hit another squat if you want. Then in this position, we're then going to take it back down to the hang position, and then we're going to take it back up. In this point again, you can power clean, muscle clean, squat clean, whatever you want. So we're going back down to the hang, and then we're coming back up to this position and standing all the way up. The rep's finished when we've got fully extended hips, knees, barbell in the front rack position. There should be no real grumbles about that. You can lift as many times as you can manage. You can change plates. There will be a box of fractionals there where you can add things on if you choose to do that. And like I say, you'll have the time beforehand to begin setting up. Any questions, as always, give me a shout in the comments. No question is a stupid question from now. Lots of stupid questions prior to now. No questions from now about the workouts are stupid, because we won't have a chance to ask questions on the actual day. So just make sure you ask me things in advance so that you're completely clued up. The way the lanes will be set up, there'll be like lanes like this, but you'll have a box. So you'll have 2 lanes, the other person will have 2 lanes, they'll have 2 lanes in a box. So you'll be able to face each other with plenty of room to be able to sling some barbells about. So any questions, let me know. And yeah, on to the next one. Almost forgot. Scaled, because you're doing this with an empty barbell, girls will have a 15, guys will have a 20. The deadlift is slightly different, so we want to see it go down to mid-shin. That's the only difference. So we want to see it go down as low as mid-shin and back up again. So you know where the middle of your shin is, the judges know where the middle of your shin is. Below your knee isn't mid-shin, middle of the shin or lower, but mid-shin or below is where we want the bar to go on your deadlifts. Nothing else is different in the workout apart from the fact that the weight is lighter and you don't have it going from the floor. Do not drop barbells on the floor. Place them down on the floor. There will be a little bit, but don't drop them from knee height, don't drop them from hip height, and. You know the deal. Okay, workout number 3, standards, layout, setup, video. So we've got an 11-minute time cap. Athletes have to work through. Differences for scaled and RX. 60 double unders or 80 single unders for scaled. Then 20 dumbbell snatches, then 10 shuttle runs, and then a different movement for scaled and RX. This workout can be done any way you want. You can split it. You could have one person do the entire workout. You could split it exactly right, so on and so forth. So as long as athlete 1 or 2, the athlete that isn't working, is behind this line the entire time, so they're sitting back here, anywhere you want, as long as they're behind this line, totally cool. The only exception to that is when you're doing the shuttle runs, the athlete can come out behind this line here. So we'll go into that in a little second when we do the actual shuttle runs. So double unders, rules for double unders. The rope must pass under 2 times. We know how that works, everybody knows what a double under is. So we come up, the rope goes under 2 times for the rep to count. You can split that however you choose, and I would advise placing your rope down, because when we get to the shuttle runs, you'll notice there is a dumbbell on the right hand side and a rope on the left hand side with a small gap in the middle. I don't want anybody falling over the ropes. Any of the dumbbell or double under stuff must be done in this box here, so in the first box. Okay, so you can swap as and when you choose, but 80 double unders, 80 single unders for the scaled, and 60 double unders for the RX. Anytime you swap, you must tag your partner. So if you want to swap out, you come back behind the line, tag, and you can swap over. So they can't be waiting here to do the snatches, whatever else. So if you decide that you want to swap after the double unders, they have to go back, tag your partner, they come out and do the snatches. Then they'll move to the snatches. The snatches are alternating dumbbell snatches for both RX and scaled. So you have to go left, right, left, right. I didn't put it on the picture, but they are alternating dumbbell snatches. Rules here: one head of the dumbbell has to touch the floor, and the dumbbell must go up overhead in one movement. Scaled, you can clean and jerk it if you want, but RX, up overhead in one movement. The rep counts when we come to full extension, up overhead. So full extension is elbow is extended, the dumbbell is clearly stacked over the top. We've got knees and hips both extended clearly overhead. You can swap the dumbbell on the floor, in the air, wherever you want to swap it, as long as one head of the dumbbell touches the floor and you come up overhead. The other hand that's here can't touch any part of your body. So when you touch the floor, you can't put your hand on here to bring yourself up. So this hand can't touch it, and you have to swap over. If you were to swap on the floor, it would be here, swap over, and up overhead. So alternating between them. Again, you could have one person do all 20, or you could do 10-10. But the person who's done 10 would have to come back, tag their partner, come out, and then swap there. Then, for the shuttle runs, the partner who's behind there will come up behind this line. When they're waiting here, the shuttle runs are, you must touch the floor at each end or tag at this end. Okay, it's a very important distinction. If one person's doing all 10, they must touch the floor at the far end and touch the floor at this side, or you can do one each. You could run out, touch the floor at that end, come back and tag your partner. Okay, very important distinction. So if one person's doing all the running, they have to touch the floor at each side. That means bring both feet over the line, touch the floor, and then continue on. So same on that side, when you go to that side, you go over the line, turn around, touch the floor, and come back again, unless you're swapping, in which case you can tag your partner. Do with that information as you please. There and back is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? You can swap these as you choose, but you must do one before you swap. So you can't like go to that end and then they follow you and so on and so forth. So you have to tag to be able to swap. Hopefully that makes sense. Then first of all, we've got toes to bar. So the toes, the two main parts to this standard are the toes must become behind the frontal plane, aka from here, we want the toes and the feet to go behind the rig, behind this line, not in front, so you can't just scoop up and touch the rig from there. They must come behind in that sort of kipping motion and come up. We want both feet touching the bar at the same time. They must come in contact with the bar. Close to the bar is a no rep. Touching one after the other, no rep. Feet touching at the same time is a rep. So from here, up, touch, touch. Okay, so those are reps. Again, you can split them as you choose. You're both going to be behind there. You can swap them as you want, so on, so forth. For scaled, we've got knee raises, same applies. Feet must come behind this line of the rig and then come up to or above parallel. So we're from the rig, our feet go behind the rig, we come up to or above parallel and back down. So these would be no reps. From here, these would be no reps. If you were sticking them out in front and pulling up, we need to go behind, up to above parallel. If you don't have that, then practice it. A note on the gymnastics, the bars are high for everyone, okay? So they'll all be at the same height by the time comp day comes. The boxes aren't used in this workout, so they'll be behind, and we want to use them. You can either, I'd prefer you didn't stand on them, so you must be kind of free hanging from it, because if we run the risk of, if we have it underneath, and then you're doing gymnastics and for whatever reason you fall off, you're going to fall onto the box. So you can use J-pegs if you want, J-hooks, whatever, but we'll have it at the side so that you can reach up to the bar. There's the two different types of boxes, so everybody should be able to reach. Some of you tiny people might just have a small jump to the floor. Note on the bars. Some gyms have ridiculously grippy bars that are very close to the floor. That means your gymnastics might not be as great as you think it actually is. These will be cleaned, wiped down since tape gate last time when poor Lindsay fell off. We won't have tape on the bars, they'll be wiped down. Remember, if you've got chalkless grips, you will need to wipe the bar. If you and your partner don't have, one has chalkless, one doesn't, you're going to struggle, but just make sure you are on the bar at your own peril, okay? I don't think they're particularly slippy in the slightest. Me, Mikey, Elliot and all that do big sets of muscle ups on them. They're fine, we never fall off. But just be aware, be confident in your gymnastics before you go up onto the bar, because the last thing I want is for anybody to fall. So just make sure you're confident with your gymnastics and that you're only doing sets that you can physically manage to complete, okay? So then we go on to the next one. Again, split the next bit however you want, 60 double unders or 80 singles for scaled, 20 dumbbell snatch again, 10 shuttle runs. Then we move on to the next one, which is pull-ups. And we want to see, again, full extension at the bottom of the rep, and then chin up and over the bar. So the chin must be up and over the bar, not to the bar, which is quite common. That you'll see a lot of people come up and go to here, not a rep. So we want the chin up and over the bar, and at the bottom we must come to full extension. So not bent arms halfway, full extension at the bottom and chin up over the bar. You can butterfly, kip, strict if you're mental, and that's kind of about it. And I didn't put many punishments in for going scaled, but in this case you guys have devil's press because I didn't put them anywhere else. So the devil's press is dumbbell starts on the floor or in one hand. The dumbbell must go down to the floor, chest and thighs touch the floor to here, so chest and thighs must be on the floor. You can then jump up, step up, whatever you choose, bring the dumbbell up, and it must go up in one movement. So for this one, the dumbbell must go up overhead in one movement. Again, like the dumbbell snatches, we have to be elbow extended, fully up overhead, knees locked out, hips locked out, and back down again. You don't have to alternate them at all. You can do as you please, but there is 30 of them, so it's quite a lot. You can swap as you choose, and if you choose to swap, you tag your partner. Okay? Then again, we go to 60 double unders or 80 single unders, then 20 dumbbell snatches, 10 shuttle runs, and then the last one for the RX, we've got chest to bar, kipping or butterfly. Again, strict if you're mental. For these, we've got 30 of these to work through. Chest must make clear contact with the bar. So this isn't close, chest at bar height, any of that kind of stuff. The chest must make clear contact with the bar. That's anywhere between your nipple and your collarbone. Must make clear contact with the bar. Careful with butterflies, because I know a lot of people do butterflies and their t-shirt flies up. I want the chest making contact with the bar, not just t-shirts. So if you're doing kipping, from here we go up, clear contact with the bar. The judges will no rep for no contact. Don't get annoyed, they can see. They can also use the boxes to stand up and check and just make sure that you're actually getting there. But just make sure you touch the bar, because again, this is fast and you don't want to pick up any. No reps. Then for the scaled, we've got goblet squats. So from here, the dumbbell held up in front, exactly like this. So in this position here, not getting sideways or anything, we want it down exactly like this, in this position. Then we must go down to below parallel. So all the way down, hip crease below the knee. Then we come back up and you have to come to full extension, fully extended hips and knees, and then back down again. So just make sure we're hitting the reps. Don't want any of this kind of half power. You want to get all the way down and then all the way back up. Once you're completed, you then both run to the end, over the tape line at the end. Timer stops when you both pass the tape line. Okay? Any questions? Let me know. This is a fun one. If you split it well, there are many ways to split it, but I'll not give you any tips on that. So yeah, any questions? Let me know as soon as possible. Thank you. And your final workout of the day, standards, arguably my favourite one. We've got a 12-minute AMRAP. This is scored in 3 parts. There is a score for your kettlebell work plus your thrusters. There is a score for your thrusters only, so 1 leaderboard. Leaderboard 2 is for your thrusters only, and leaderboard 3 is for your assault bike calories. So one partner will be on the assault bike, spooling up calories. This is what the lane will look like. You'll have the barbells at the end, and you'll have this assault bike here. So one partner will start on the assault bike, one will start at the kettlebell. The kettlebell swings are Russian swings. So the way that this will work from a flow point of view is, partners on here, we do the swings, we do the hand clean and jerks, which we'll look at the standards in a second, hand clean and jerks. Then we've got the walk and lunges. The walk and lunges are from this line to this line and back. So that's 1 rep, 2 rep. Then once you come back, put your kettlebell down, you then move to do your 1 unbroken max set of thrusters. This workout is about being smart. So be smart on how many thrusters you think you need, on how many things you think you can do on this. I don't have to tell you how to suck eggs, but there's a reason there's 3 leaderboards, and there's a reason that it's set up in this way. So I like to make you think, be smart. So for the kettlebell swing, I'm using a massive kettlebell for demo, obviously. The kettlebell must come to 2 positions. One is fully locked out, straight arms behind the knees. So it must come behind here. It can't be doing here or here. It has to be behind the leg. So through this gap, then we're coming up to eye level or above. We need to have straight arms here and straight arms here. They have to be completely straight. So this isn't a rep. We need to be completely straight out of this. You can swing it all the way up in one, either way, or a faster cycle speed if you want to come here and here. As long as at the top of the swing, knees and hips are fully extended and your arms are fully extended out in front of you, and the kettlebell is at eye level or above. That's where you'll pick up no reps, is in the eye level or above part, or coming down to here. Then for the hand clean and jerk, they're not alternating. You can do them on whatever side you want. Just like the kettlebell swing, we must come behind the line of the legs, up to the shoulder in one movement. It can sit up here or in here, wherever you want, and then up overhead. Okay, so it must be 2 clear movements, so we can't just snatch it up. It has to be a clean and jerk. You can do it on either arm, you can alternate, you can do whatever you want. As long as it comes behind, you can't use your other hand on any other part of your body. It has to be free. So up to the front rack position, or on the shoulder, or wherever you want, as long as it comes to the shoulder. Somehow we'll be quite lax on that. We won't go down that route again. And then the rep's finished when your elbow's fully extended, knees and hips are fully extended, and it is up overhead. You can come back down again in 1, as long as it goes up in 2 movements. You can push press, strict press, push jerk, whatever you choose, as long as you're fully extended. So from here, if you were to come down and bring it down, that'd be a no rep. You need to be fully extended at the top for the rep to count. So behind the frontal plane, up and up to here in 2 movements. So you do your 8 reps of each, 8 kettlebell swings, then 8. And for these lunges, you can put the kettlebell wherever you want. I'm not getting into the front rack argument that we got into last time, so put it wherever you want. It's up to you. Probably front rack. So you want it in the front rack. I don't want it down by here. Take it back. Yeah, front rack position. So front rack, but I'm not going to be greedy about the front rack. As long as it's up here somewhere. It can be up here, but just not down by the side or in two hands. As long as it's in one hand, up in some sort of front rack position up here. Whatever you can find works for you, as long as it's up in here. So whether it's tucked in or up or on the shoulder or somewhere. The lunges, both feet must start behind the line. Back foot, back knee must touch the floor on each rep. You don't have to meet in the middle, but you do have to come to full extension. So knees and hips fully extended. So you can't just crawl along the floor like this. We need to come all the way up to full extension, pass through. If you get no rep at any point through that in the lunges, you'll be sent back to start this again, okay? So if you get no rep on the last one, you come back to start this again. So that's up in front rack, knee touches the floor, come up and meet in the middle, knee touches the floor, and it's an awkward distance, so you'll not get as many steps as you think. They must be alternating. Then on the last one, you have to get over the line fully for the rep to count. So if this was me here, I'd have to do another full lunge over the line and stand it up fully. Then turn and go back again the same way. If you get to the end and you get to here and you just put it down, then you must go back and start that rep again. That's just how it works. So in here, you have to turn, go back around. You can rest here as long as you stand it up fully, then put it down. Make sense? Then we go back. Once you finish your lunges back the way, kettlebell gets set back where it was. Then we move to the thrusters. You can squat clean the first thruster if you want, as long as for each rep to count, we need the hip crease to come below the knee as usual, same as all these movements that we've got any type of squat in. We come down to the bottom, we come up, and full extension. So the rep counts when the barbell's stacked overhead, so shoulders are in line with the body, elbows are extended, knees and hips are fully extended. So these aren't thrusters, okay? We want to get full all the way down, up, full extension overhead, and back down. You choose how many you do, it's up to you. Once you put the barbell down, you must swap with your partner. You cannot swap until you have done at least a thruster. Or if you choose to do no thrusters, you can do no thrusters, but you must finish the kettlebell stuff and then go back again, okay? So if you choose to do no thrusters, do no thrusters for year round if you want, but you still have to complete the walk and lunge stuff and then swap. I think that covers all of the things, and we'll just keep the score running on the calories on the bike. All the bikes will be the same. Thruster weight for the guys RX is 45, girls RX 30, and then empty barbells for the scaled. So do not throw the barbells on the floor. That'd be very much appreciated. And that's all. Any questions, please let me know. Thanks, bye.